No, you don't do it with everybody, but you do it with your loved ones. And I was like, guilty. Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Dana coming to you with another video. Today, you guys are joining me on a very special video. We are going to be doing a chit chat. Get ready with me. Yes, I am going to be getting glammed up, ready for today, but we are going to be mostly chit chatting. Yes. No worries though. All the items like this eyeshadow palette that I use to create this look will be listed in the description box below. So anything you see me use, concealer, any of that nature, I'm going to be sticking with the eyes today, but it's going to be listed below in the description box. Let me know if you guys like videos like this. Hit a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned because at the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I put this look together with my outfit. So stay tuned. And without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, you guys. I don't even know why I'm saying hi, you guys. Okay, you guys, so we're going to get right into it. We're going to get right into discussion, but please know that if there's any items that I'm using during this conversation, you guys be sure to hit the description box below. I will list everything I'm using, but we're going to get right into the conversation. So without further ado, first thing, this is so cute. Yes. Okay, so first thing we're going to step right into it. How did I overcome people pleasing? First, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys, I had no idea that it was something that I even did. It was just one of those things that you just know it came off as in worry. I was stressed a lot of times. So to be completely honest, I didn't even know that I did it. Like people pleasing, even the word would never came to my mind or I imagined that that was something I did. When I think of people pleasing, I'm thinking like, okay, everybody. You do this with everyone. So I'm like, no, absolutely not. But to start off, to just get straight to the point, it wasn't anything that I identified naturally myself. One day, I was sitting up here watching Ron Carpenter because anytime that I feel this overwhelmed feeling, it normally comes in as in worry or I'm running out of time or just my everyday life things that I typically do myself somehow seem to feel like I don't know if I can get them done, or even if I get them done, I'm exhausted at the end of the day. So that's kind of how it comes out or how I feel before I even knew what it was. So when I would get in that headspace, I would start to listen to like my word, or I'll listen to like maybe one of my favorite ministers, which is maybe Papa Jakes. He's one of my favorite ministers, Ron Carpenter. I love listening to him because it kind of get me out of that funk so that I won't sit there and stay there stagnant. But it kept coming on me. So although I felt this way and I would feel very heavy and weighted, I would still go on with whatever it was I needed to do, but I would be exhausted by the end of the day. So I turned on Ron Carpenter and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna let this feeling get the best of me. I'm just gonna continue to keep going on. And the first thing that he said that literally like stopped me dead in my tracks. I got to make sure I get the scripture right because I don't want to give you guys the wrong scripture. But it was Matthew 11:28. It says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble of heart, and you will find rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. When I heard that, it literally it was like a siren went off. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, at that point, me hearing that is like, okay, I need to be honest. I need to be real. I need to be upfront with the Lord. I'm like, I'm not even playing no more games. I'm going to be real with him. Look, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I have this thing. I don't even know what it is. But for whatever reason, I keep feeling worried all the time. Even when I'm going out in public doing what I want to do, I still feel like this hold tight or nervousness. And why is it that I'm feeling this? Lord, I need you to bring this to my attention. So after I sat down, I prayed about it. Shortly after that, I decided from there on, I would put on I will put on like my word. Even if I did it for like 30 minutes a day, or listen to my word, or I would even do like maybe an hour, 30 minutes of prayer, because that's literally like the only way you can kind of like talk to the Lord. That would be my way of kind of like ushering him in and kind of like help you. You kind of zen out and have a moment of quietness. And it's kind of soothing because it gets all of the noise out of your head. Everything, sometimes we can be so busy at times. So doing that every day for at least 30 minutes if I'm busy, but at least an hour a day would help me kind of like ease. And as time went on, he kind of like brought to my attention that you have this thought pattern of almost like he would deal with me about me. And that was one of the key problems that I had, almost like renewing my mind. Because a lot of times I didn't know how bad I would like, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't know that I would almost be like stinking thinking. So sometimes we could be so sweet to everyone else, but then when the doors is closed and it's lights out, we can be sometimes the most harshest critic on ourselves. So for instance, when I was in school, I would, of course, signed up for classes, did all those things, but when I was by myself, it would be all of this doubt coming in. And it's like, where is this doubt coming from? It's like, well, are you sure you're going to be able to finish this? Are you sure you're going to be able to get through some of these things that you need to do? And the funny part about spending more quality time with the Lord is he almost like one of your best friends. So, for instance, your best friend would not let you beat up on yourself. He's not going to let you, he or she won't let you, not if they hear you talking like that, like, oh, well, how am I going to finish this? I'm not going to be able to finish this. After a while of spending time with the Lord, I have found that he would correct me like right on spot. So it's almost like something that just dropped in your spirit. Like, why are you saying that to yourself? You know you can overcome. You are overcomer. You know you can take, by flight. You know that you are not given. I didn't give you a spirit of fear. I didn't give you a spirit of, anxiousness. So whatever this is that you feeling right now in your head, it ain't coming from me. So right away, I would realize that I was doing this a lot. And so I would say instantly, right on the spot, I would check it. So I'll be like, okay, whether I turn the channel or start listening to uplifting words, or I would even read my word, because sometimes reading the Bible will help you cancel out some of them nasty thoughts. And over a period of time of just doing that, now I can hear so very clearly because I'm not battling all my personal thinking. And he can kind of like come in more, and I zen out, and I spend my hours of whether it's, talking to the Lord in prayer, or if it's listening to my word. But a lot of times now I often see when I wash dishes, or if I'm just in quiet mode, things would drop in me, and I'll feel like he'll give me intuitive about myself. And so the funny part about it is the day that he made me realize that I am a people pleaser, I be people pleasing people, I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, like, what is going on? I don't understand. And then one day it dropped into my spirit that you have a problem with people pleasing. And initially I didn't want to accept it because I was like, well, wait a minute, Lord, I don't do this with everybody. I don't do this with everybody. But then what ended up happening was he ended up dropping me right in my tracks. And I caught myself literally right in the act in the moment of, no, you don't do it with everybody, but you do it with your loved ones. And I was like, guilty. So when I say this, I'm meaning maybe you don't do it to everybody pertaining to, okay, I'm not gonna, somebody come off the street, walk up to you and say, oh, those some nice kicks. Oh, that's a nice so-and-so. Can I have it? Or even going further with, do you have time today? Because sometimes it's not so much about money. It could be just time. You know that you're very busy and you got a lot on your plate right now. So it'd be like, let me help. Can you help me do this or whatever? And you know that you got a lot, your head is up to here with stuff. So you'll be like, okay, knowing good and well, you just did a 9 to 5, or you just did a 9 to probably sometimes 8, 12-hour shift, and you're tired. You ain't got no business saying you can help out, or you can do it. You need to go home and get some rest and get some sleep. So it was kind of on that type of trail. So when I had realized it, I said, OMG, I really do this. So how he dealt with me is, at the time, I didn't know that we all are raised at some point to be polite, to be, respectful, to be not necessarily generous is the word I'm looking for, but just to be polite. That's how we were raised as children growing up. And so I had went, I think, a little almost to my own demise is what he brought to my attention, meaning that I created you for a purpose, meaning everybody on this earth, and this is me personally, I feel like everybody on this earth was created for a purpose and it's something or reason for why they're here. And it's up to us at the end of the day to figure that out and to pursue it, whether we do or not. Everyone, the Lord is not the Son of Man where he shall lie. So if I'm getting this in my spirit, I know that's same thing for you. He has no respect to person. But a lot of times what we do is because we think it's normal, and that's where I was at with it. I thought I was just being polite because we were raised up in church to be polite. You help people, sometimes you go out of your way to try to help people, whatever, but I went overboard with it. And so he had let me know that you're going to keep doing this, and if you keep moving at this level, you're going to either end up in the hospital because stress is real, or worse, you're going to end up passing up the purpose that I set for you to do. And so it took me a long time, not a long time after he brought it to my attention, but I literally had to own up to it, meaning it wasn't until I confessed out my own mouth and literally went straight to the Lord that he brought this to my attention. So that let me understand that sometimes he wants you to open up your mouth and come to him and say, you know what, Lord, I'm wrestling with this thing. I don't know what it is, but I need you to help me identify what it is so that I can get the breakthrough I need to go forward. So one of the things too that I end up running across, which was 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things, meaning some things is going to have to be put away. That word put. He dropped in my spirit at that moment that you're going to have to do the work, meaning when you get into this headspace, let's say somebody come in and they approach you or they ask you at some point, okay, could you do this? And you got your head up to here, or you're already working on something, or you're doing something that already the Lord already laid on your heart for you to do. You cannot be, you can be sweet about it, don't be mean about it, but you have to be almost assertive and honest. And that's the word I'm looking for, honest enough to let the person know, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it. Even if you don't want to explain, you still have to be polite, but let them know that you're not going to be able to do it. Because what ends up happening is you keep, what's the word I'm looking for? You're kind of bending and molding when you don't have time to really do it. And one thing that he let me know is whatever purpose that I set for you, just like I set up for everyone that here has a purpose, you're not going to be able to walk forth in it because you're too polite, or you're too much of trying to people please and trying to help everyone, but that you're missing what was set aside for you. And even when Ron Carpenter said he gives you enough grace and mercy sufficient enough for that day, anything after that is just extra. So what I kept confusing was I probably would have enough energy for whatever the Lord set forth for me to do had I not keep exhausting myself all the way down to the last bit of my energy every day. And so that's where that exhaustion came from. And that's where I would get so sometimes thrown back. And I had no idea that it was something I was doing. But when he brought it to my attention, I said, oh, here we go. Here go to the test, because it just don't stop there. Remember that scripture said you have to put these things away. So I would get tested. And now here come the question. Sometimes it would be maybe friends, or if you get in a situation with family where they ask you, okay, but then that the Lord is laying it on your heart to do something else. And so that's taking up majority of your time. Of course, you're whatever, if you have kids or if you have a husband, tend for your houses and stuff like that. Yes, that. But whatever it is that he's telling you to do now, you have to kind of go and do that. So you gotta say it now. And sometimes you might get kickback. And that was the one thing he dealt with me about, is that sometimes you say, okay, I'm not going to be able to do it. And the person might be upset because they're used to you being that person. At that point, guess what? You're going to have to stand your ground. You got to trust the Lord, because if you don't, you may never. Some people is walking around with these type of issues that they may never decide to seek help or seek some sort of counseling to approach these issues. So they're always stressed, they're always tired, they always give out their last. And there's nothing wrong, again, there's nothing wrong with helping anyone. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, whatever it is that he has for you to do, or whatever your purpose is, that is what's wrapped up in sometimes not carving out and cutting out that time so that you can focus on it. You won't always be tied up, but you need to at least make sure that you're doing what the Lord asks you to do for whatever purpose he has you here for. And so what I ended up doing was, I said, okay, it was time for the test out the waters. And of course, you would get asked, and when I did it, it felt so unreal. It felt foreign. It felt very weird because I'm just used to always giving in. I'm always used to being the one to help. I'm just not used to not helping. And so when it happened, again, I'm gonna tell you, you might get kickback. And when I realized that, okay, what am I gonna do when this happened? Because you kind of got to prepare yourself for it. I had realized that if this person truly loves you and if they truly care about you, they don't want you to be wound that tight to where you can't finish doing things that you need to do to make sure you stay afloat. Or if they knew that the pressure that you were under going through these things, if they care about you, I'm sure they wouldn't want you in that disposition. For me, I had a really good poker face. So a lot of times people would not even know that I struggled with this thing. And so that is another reason why I say it's very important for you to be honest, because nobody who else will know. Nobody is going to know that, not unless you open up your mouth and you say, okay, I got a lot on my plate this week. I probably won't be able to do it. And let your nay be your nay and your yay be your yay. But then there was some times with me that nobody required me to do anything. But for some reason, I don't know why I put the pressure on myself to think that I had to do it. I don't know if it's because half of our, like, for me and my brother, I would say half of our growing up, when we were like teenagers, my mom was a single parent. So a lot of times we would try to, and not that my mom would ask us to, but we would try to be like, above our age because we wanted to help her. We saw that, okay, she was a single parent. She had to do a lot of things. Sometimes my mom would go to work. She would come home. She would be exhausted after work. So me and my brother would be like, okay, we'll get this ready. We head out for school. She would be sleeping in the bed. And then we would just mature that way. At this time, my sister wasn't even born. I don't even think she was thought of at the time yet. But we would be mature. So you're used to doing that. You're used to, asserting yourself. You're used to being always on top of your game. And I think I picked up that then, and I would continue to keep doing it because I was just used to always being that way. I think even my brother, he probably still to this very day is very, forthcoming because he's probably used to doing that. Like, okay, well, let me know what you need me to do so that I can help or whatever. But I had picked it up almost to the habit of, again, the Lord was like, okay, that was fine during the time. And if there's any underage kids that's watching this, like my niece is one of them when she's still in high school. So, of course, if she want to help her mom, that is great to be a help to your mom or whatever. But for me, I was still doing it. And now I'm grown, so my mom can handle her load and she's handling her load fine or whatever. But then I would go to the extent that even when I would do it with friends, I would feel the pressure to buy things. Like, for example, I would feel the pressure to buy things. And they didn't ask for it. Nobody asked me to do this. But for some reason, I don't know why I felt so much of a pressure that I'm like, and then when I wouldn't be able to buy or get anything, I would feel so, I would feel so like, oh my God, I'm not able to get them something. I would feel bad about it. And I'm like, what is going on? And so he brought all of those things to my attention that I need to be easy on myself. Nobody expects me to do all these things. Even if I did, look, that's my love language. I love to buy gifts for my loved ones. But if I can't at the moment get them anything, or if it's tight or whatever it is, I need to understand that it's okay. It's not a big deal. And so that was one of the things that I had gathered. And I hope that this kind of helps anyone else. Or if you do have the same situation that I have, please let me know in the description box below, because oh my goodness, it was definitely a shocker when he brought it to my attention. And even like the renewing my mind type thing, I didn't even know that I thought in a lot of ways of, I mean, I guess it is a negative thinking towards yourself per se, because it's like you can't you're not going to get anything positive from, you know, talking like that about yourself. You're just going to keep believing it. So you want to be positive. You want to have a positive mind. So to sum it up, what I'm doing now to stay on it, because it's not something that's going to magically just go poof and be done. Like, this is something that I'm going to constantly have to work on, the same way I worked on all of my other things, like how I approach myself when I'm thinking, not to, not to doubt myself when I'm thinking. In order to get on that side of the track, I had to continue to be assertive about when the thoughts would come in. I would have to deal with myself about it. Like, no, don't think like that. Think positive. Don't think negative. That's the same effect that I have to deal with this. You have to do the work. Even if you went to therapy, and I am such an advocate of going to a therapist or some sort of counselor, somebody specifically that specialized or licensed to deal with family trauma, those type of things. I end up coming to the realization this way because a lot of times I feel like when you spend time with the Lord, at least for me, I can't speak for anyone else, or when you read the word, it's almost like a mirror. I don't know if you guys ever saw like a cartoon or any video where the doctor will hold up these cards and it will be like a picture. So the picture will be something that don't even look about nothing. It really don't look like anything at all. But the picture that's held up, the doctor would ask the person, what is this, or what do you think this picture is? And so the person would say whatever that comes to mind, or wherever they think that it is. But really, in actuality, whatever that person say the thing is, or wherever they think it is probably 9 times out of 10 in the movie or in the show, is really what that person feel on the inside, or what that person is mirroring from outside. And that's what they're telling the doctor they think the picture is. The picture would probably be of something random that could be furthest thing from whatever the person mentioned, but that helps the doctor understand like what is going on with the person or what the person see. So I feel like when I read the word, which now I didn't understand it when I was younger, but now I understand why they say when you read the Bible, sometimes it's almost like it mirrors you back what it is that you might need help with. And so at first I'm like, huh, but two people, hence why two people can read, like I can read it and my husband can read the same scripture and we can get completely two different things from what we read. And it's a reason for that, because whatever you read from out the scripture is whatever it's going to point out whatever you need to work on, or whatever you need to heal. And then if I read it, it'll point out maybe something different of what I see. And so that's why I feel like it's very important for each person. Like, I listen to my sermons from other people, but then it came a time where I could see where the Lord was pulling on me to read the word myself. And it was my sweet spot. Like, when I say it was like the best thing I could have did, because even when I was going through stuff and I felt like, although I was around my family, I still didn't want to admit that I suffered with this thing or I had this particular issue. They would be like, oh, okay, she fine. She all right, she good. Although I'm walking around knowing that no, something is wrong because I am too darn stressed half of the doggone time. And so at this point, I knew, but it wasn't until I started going in for myself to get to know him myself that I started realizing, like, oh wow, he really started showing me and how to handle it. But one of the things for certain, and I say this all the time, one of the things he did let me know is I could still pick that very same thing back up and end up right back in that situation. I have to make a decision every day to decide to put that thing away. Meaning some things is not going to be prayed away. Yes, prayer do work, but some things he know you're going to have to do the work, just like they would make you do if you were in a psychology class, or if you was going to seek counsel for whatever your issue is. They're going to tell you only so much, but at some point they're going to tell you, okay, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, maybe we should try this, why don't we do this? And you can do it or whatever you guys decided to come up with during that session. But if you're not consistent with it to try to come to a resolution and come to a healing place, you could end up right back in that same situation. So that was one of the things that I learned that he brought to my attention. And I was so grateful for, because again, I couldn't keep going on like that. And he literally was like, so are you really willing to lay down your purpose of what it is I have for you? If I wanted you to be somebody else, if I wanted you to compress yourself, I would have had you be somebody else. And that was like, oh my God, I instantly teared up on that one, because I didn't realize that I'm literally walking around pretty much so busy, so completely shunning myself, closing myself in, that he like, this is not what I created you to be. So that was like a breathtaking. And again, I'm still, and I can't stress enough, I'm still working on it every day. I go through levels of it. In the church, sometimes we always talk about, you always hear the people talk about the ones who would cuss you out. They'll be quick to cuss your tail out and go off on you. And I still think if you're that person that you're very temperamental, look, we all got something we got to figure out. We all got something we got to work through. Keep on working through that. Keep doing that, because we got to get better. So yes, I hope that you guys, like this video. Again, I would have asked you if you like me to do more videos like this, but me practicing my non-people pleasing mood, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to probably do videos in and out like this from time to time. Look at me. So just know that if there's something that you need to work on, like particularly if you're like me, because again, I say this all the time, I feel like you hear the common thing is the people who have an issue with maybe just, short tempered, that they will go off on you or whatever. I was almost a little bit timid to have this conversation, but we know that sometimes one size don't fit all. Like, there is all types of people who struggle with different things. And the funny part about it was, a lot of times when the Lord deal with you, especially if you're not for sure, you're like, is this me, or Lord, is you trying to tell me something, or is this just me just tweaking or something? So how he did me was, I had got like 2 confirmations. And then the third time I got it, I said, okay, I know this is you dealing with me. And I was watching TD Jakes, and he said some people need deliverance from, maybe it's an addiction. Some people may need deliverance from, gluttonous, or maybe losing weight or something like that. He said, but some people need deliverance from people. And when I said, oh my goodness, when he said it, I had already knew. Now, I already got 2 other confirmations from just reading the word and then him talking to me. But then when I got that, I had already knew, like, okay, yes, you are definitely dealing with me about this. And instantly, although I don't like being in the position to have to tell anyone no, now I'm getting better and better. And it just completely, I feel a lot freer than what I was. Like, so that literally was the problem. I had to get over the idea of being so over polite that I almost shut myself out, whatever it is that I had to do for today. And sometimes you just have to be selfish. Like, if you're a mom, you take care of kids, especially if your kids is grown, definitely you have to say, okay, I did everything that I could do. let me take some time out for myself and see if I can do something that pampers me for a little bit. And even if you have kids, you know, if you have somebody to give you help or whatever, let me just go and get my nails done or do something that makes me feel good, because we can't keep giving if we are not getting something in us, if we're not doing something for ourselves to make us feel good. So he really dealt with me first before I could even think about doing anything. And again, I probably wouldn't even be on this platform, even talking to you guys today, because I would be so nervous about even talking. So you got to know already that, like, oh my God, this definitely would be something that I'm doing right now. So I am going to finish putting on my lashes and put my lip on, and I will be back with the full look. And again, I hope you guys like this video. Hit a thumbs up if you do, and I hope this helps someone. It definitely changed my life, and again, it's something that I'm still working on every day to stay in this clear and this free space, and I just thank God for it. So hold on for just a second. All right, you guys, this is the look. This is the whole total look. This is how it came out. It was so cute. I didn't even think the conversation was gonna last that long, but to get through the whole eye look. But no worries. Everything that I use is going to be in the description box below. I hope this video has helped someone. I definitely this that I had, you know, gone through, coming out of it, and now on the other side, like, I'm truly blessed for it. I am 100% weightless, feel free in spirit, and it was the best thing that I ever did. I didn't even know what to call it. I didn't even know that it was something that I was going through at the time, but I'm so glad that the Lord brought it to my attention. So I hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like videos like this, because I'll be sure to do others as well. Just know that the Lord loves you and I love you. And until next time, bye.